What's going on, everybody? Got a special guest today, the mightiest of meats. I think you're muted, buddy. Still got nothing. Technical difficulties. He's trying, y'all. He's trying. Oh,
Is that better?
I got you now.
I literally changed nothing. I didn't even touch anything.
That's great. So what's up, Mighty?
What's going on, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm here.
You excited to go over Bigfoot today?
Yeah, I'm interested to see kind of your thoughts on it too. A lot of people dispelling it, saying it's a myth. So I don't know which way you lean on this, but I found it really interesting. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a specific reason I chose the background for the stream I did. It's the I want to believe, just cartoonified.
Mm.
But Bigfoot's a tough sell for me. It really is.
okay,
Um,
and we'll get into that, why it's a tough sell for a lot of people, and what the actual science says about it. So
yeah, like I said, I mean, I've seen a lot of videos, and I'm just like, that's retarded. And then other times, I'm like, maybe, but it's a hard sell. Like a giant ape living in. I mean, Sasquatch is North America's version, but I mean, it's not just North America. It's Asia. There's some weird stuff in Europe, Russia. I mean, I have questions, and there just aren't enough answers for me.
right. I'm gonna address the chat real quick. He actually told me that he would disown me if I didn't, one, come on his channel, and two, be on camera.
Yeah, facts.
And I love my Sleazy, so it happens. So from time to time, I think it's interesting. One of the selling points for me is that there's so much that we haven't explored. There's so much that we haven't looked into. There's so much that we haven't. There's places on the earth, let alone in the ocean, but there's places on the earth that we've never visited or never even been close to. So I mean, is it possible? Maybe, but yeah, I lean towards no. But.
Yeah. No, I have questions, and it just seems like there aren't enough answers. But Xcomer, what's up? Yep, got Mighty on cam. Apostle Steve, welcome. Mimi, you damn Chinese spy, you.
Yep.
Val, what's up, buddy? Val's taking the day off. He's been working his ass off, so he's getting a little bit of a break. That, and I promised you a show, so we're doing a show.
Yeah, it happens. I forgot what I was going to say, and then what's the profanity rule here?
Less than years, otherwise I don't give two shits.
Okay, so like PG-13 plus.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Just want to know the rules, buddy.
Well, if you watch the show, you know.
I do, but there's normally different rules for me than there is other people, so to keep me in check. So
hey, I gotta remember not to tell my jokes at work all the time. But every once in a while I gotta pull out the Jew privilege card.
Yeah. I mean, it's what you got. So
all right, so you put together a nice little PowerPoint for
I
this.
did.
So if you're ready, we'll dive right into it.
Absolutely.
And here we go.
Oh. So I can't see chats, but I'm sure you'll address them. So I made this Sasquatch Sleazy Society. So stories of a hairy forest-dwelling bipedal primate have persisted for centuries in British Columbia, but perhaps more important than whether it exists is what it symbolizes.
Your audio is coming in shit again.
Damn it!
Give it a second. I don't get it. I want to do things I shouldn't and delve into what the hell StreamYards is doing and fix their shit for them because this is annoying.
Yeah, it's definitely StreamYard though, because it's it's consistent across a ton of platforms. So, or a ton of different shows and stuff like that. So,
yeah. All right. So let's try.
almost like they're not processing fast enough or something.
Yeah.
So we'll start over. Stories of hairy forest-dwelling bipedal primate have persisted for centuries in British Columbia. But perhaps more important than whether it exists is what it symbolizes. And before I read the British Columbia part, I thought they might be talking about Hayden. But they said British Columbia. So, for all those who don't know, British Columbia is the westernmost province of Canada. So,
And we know there's nothing out there in Canada.
nothing.
Ever.
But, I mean, Vancouver's on the coast, but other than that, there's a large swath of absolutely nothing. So, the origin, blame Canada. Beyond the roads and hiking trails, the terrain soon becomes impassable, punctuated by steep mountains that plunge into glacier-carved lakes. This remote valley, 130 kilometers, so about 90 Americans, east of Vancouver, conjures an ancient land filled with mystery and possibility, and some believe it is home to the world's most famous cryptid, Sasquatch, Canada's Bigfoot. So they have like a specific area, and of course there's sightings and stuff that we'll look at later, all over the United States and, like Sleazy said, all over the world in different factions or forms. But there's kind of an origin to it, and it's this valley by Vancouver. So, do you have anything to add, buddy? Did Sleazy fall asleep?
Fuck. I muted my mic because I was doing shit. I mean, you're not wrong. There's a lot of North America that's nothing for hundreds and hundreds of miles. Like there's space, and I'm trying to pull up a map of that area so everybody can just see.
Yeah, I could have. I can skip it.
How desolate that is.
Stop.
Because there really is not a whole lot out there.
No, there's not at all. And I've actually been to that area, and I guess that wasn't it. Whatever. I'm gonna go back because I'm sure you're bringing one up.
Yeah. But keep going.
Oh, okay. First sighting. So J.W. Burns was the first to write about Sasquatch, collecting tales of Sasquatch sightings from community members for a story in Maclean's magazine in 1929. The article was published on April Fool's Day, leading many to dismiss it as a prank. While the legend of Sasquatch persisted, it faded from public consciousness over the following decades. So this is the actual cover of the Maclean's magazine, Canada's national magazine, and this is the episode where they traced it back to being the first sighting, quote unquote. So, and it's actually, I started rabbit holing into Maclean's, and they had some cool stuff. I'd never heard of it before.
I think I'd seen it a couple times, but I would just glossed over any
It's
of
kind
that.
of passing.
Yeah.
There have been 37 notable Sasquatch sightings near the town of Harrison Hot Springs since 1900, called the Bigfoot in the United States, and Yeti or Mato Kangmi, whatever. Wild man of the snows in the Himalayas. Sasquatch is the tall, hairy bipedal primate, like a creature of disputed existence. So, you have the map up yet? Or?
Yeah, I got it right here. And more specifically, this is Harrison Hot Springs right here. But if you zoom out, it's pretty dead. Everything north for a while. Just nothing but mountains.
And if you go even further to the north, the Yukon, there's just nothing up there. There's nothing. Yeah. So all the way up into, that part of Alaska, it's just mountains. There's not populations or anything. So if you're going to hide, that would be a good place to do it.
Yeah, because you don't start getting into really anything until you start getting towards the border. Everything's still empty. It's just isolated lakes, nothing but forest, mountains. There's not a whole lot going on up there.
Even when you get into like Alberta, which is the next province over, you have Edmonton, and outside of that, there's nothing. Like, you have Edmonton and then nothing. There's smaller towns, but
it's like driving through the Midwest, just farmland, forest.
Just farmland. Yeah.
Forest, farmland.
And most of Canada is like that. Most of their population is in the east, out towards Montreal, Quebec, that general vicinity. But even if you go to Saint Marie, out of Michigan, it's just nothing for miles, hundreds of miles, nothing. Sightings. There have been more than 10,000 eyewitness accounts of Bigfoot in the continental United States in the last 50 years. Life Science reported in 2019. In these accounts, Bigfoot is usually described as being about 8 to 10 feet, 2.4 to 3 meters tall, and covered in hair. So that's a pretty sizable guy, and it's like you couldn't mistake that for a human, because
no,
humans, the most you're gonna get is maybe 7 feet. There's the odd exception, but
and the odd exceptions, and the odd exceptions don't make it to 30 years old.
Right. So the most famous Bigfoot video is a short film taken in 1967 by Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, known as the Patterson-Gimlin film, or the Patterson film, shot in Buff Creek. The video shows what appears to be a large and hairy bipedal ape, or Bigfoot, striding through a clearing. The video's authenticity is still debated, but it was likely a hoax, with an ape-like figure, just a human, wearing a costume. And one of the things we have so many cameras now. So even if it isn't like, if I saw Bigfoot today in the woods, I could very, very easily pull out my phone and videotape it. You know.
Oh yeah.
In the 60s, it was, you had to take equipment with you, and there was less of a chance that you would run into it. As we get further with more, even the surveillance possibilities and the phones, and everybody has a way to capture video immediately on them. It would be more likely that we'd catch it now. With that being said, we have less of this generation that will go hang out, you know, like in northern Michigan or in Canada. So I mean, I guess you can tip the scales both ways with that thing. So
Yeah, that's kind of where I get into why I think it's just people trying to get their 5 minutes or getting pranked. There's so many cameras.
yeah. Well, and not to go into venture into other territory, but it's the same with the UFOs and aliens. Like, at some point, somebody would have taken a clear video, and I know we have the Navy videos and stuff like that. But as far as just regular humans, it seems like at some point we would have ran it into somebody that saw something. But I don't know, maybe. So
Yeah, and you got some. I don't know. There's like static and popping on your mic. I thought it was StreamYard's, but I don't hear it on my end. Just yours.
oh, okay. Let me try.
Oh, this is a fake face. He was given it by the Skinwalkers.
Yeah.
But before you get to the next slide, Impish popped in. Hello, Impish.
Hey, what's up, Impish?
I just lost all our chats. Damn it. And of course, we got lovely Jessica Reloaded.
Hey.
Sean.
I know. I'm working on
right
the beard.
meow.
I don't know how he changes his name every single day.
Yeah, there's supposed to be like a week or two cooldown on that, but
Right.
let him have it.
Right.
Tits and ray guns when the wide world of sports is going on. We're doing the chasing Sasquatch. It's a big race. Barbara, what's up, Barbara? Snafu's in here. What's up, Snafu? Boomer, what's up? But yeah, no, I'm sure everybody's seen it. The Patterson Gimli film. That's, I think, the most famous one of all. I'm trying to see if I can find just that video. Because this is kind of what set everything into motion, isn't it? With the Bigfoot being real.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
Because you had the original, and then it really went dead for a while, because they were like, oh no, it couldn't possibly be, and it was just the April Fool's thing, and then it went to, oh, we found a video, and really kind of reignited it. So
yeah, and this one looks stabilized because the other one is so shaky. But I mean, that's what set everything in motion.
To be able to actually capture that would be something that would be spectacular. Because, like I said, it's not. Sorry, hang on. Sorry about that. So it's one of those things where to get that footage, you would have had to, like, there's so many questions. Like, why did you have equipment? Why was it set up? Why were you like?
And the background on it is that they were literally out in the middle of nowhere, horseback riding with camera equipment.
And not like, sorry, I have a kid that's bothering me. And it's not like they're just taking a cell phone and doing something with the cell phone. They're taking these bags of equipment and setting it up and doing all this, and just happen to be capturing this guy. Just doesn't make a ton of sense. So Patterson footage has never been debunked.
I mean, it's never been proven either. Like, people argue both ways on the footage, so it's the choose your own adventure. Do you go down the rabbit hole and just start believing most of the stuff's real and trying to prove it, or do you do it scientifically, like try and debunk it until you can't?
Exactly. Maybe they use the new Samsung. Yeah, and it's one of those things where people are always going to question everything, and that's good. That's a healthy practice. But when you have an overwhelming amount of evidence, it's like, like, I think we've tipped the scale to that, in the legal sense, beyond a reasonable doubt, and we're fine. Like, we're fine debunking this one. So
yeah,
so
I'm not there yet.
Okay. Do you believe, is this just a story passed down, or does Sasquatch really exist? So science says it's possible and impossible. So we'll go into the possible side first. Science says it's possible. If Sasquatch is real, it may be an unclassified primate, possibly Gigantotrophosis blackie. That's what it says. I'm not being racist. An extinct ape from
scientific terms, right?
Yeah. An extinct ape from southern China that could have crossed the Bering Land Bridge and remained concealed in North America's vast boreal forest. But the fact that no one has produced credible documentation of Sasquatch bothers him. Ultimately, the burden of proof lies in DNA, he said. So, and that's another thing. How did we not find one dead? And how have we not been able to match DNA? All that kind of stuff.
God damn it, you're cutting out again. It's getting pretty bad. But yeah, no, I think I heard that right. But yeah, no, I mean that's it for me. Like, we don't have a single bone. Everything that we get that we can test seems to be inconclusive at best. There's no, oh, it's definitely a mix of this species, or it's a complete species. It's more like, we don't know what this is, which is why I'm like, not there yet. I need something. I need something a little bit more. Like, even if it's a tooth, like that'd be enough for me.
Mm-hmm. And we haven't got hair. We haven't got teeth. We haven't got any kind of anything. Like, at some point you would have dropped something, or something would have came off, or I mean, you would think so.
Yeah, and I mean, you'd think Sasquatch shits in the wood, like.
Yeah.
Where?
I mean, if a bear does, Sasquatch should.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's almost like the stream. It's almost like if it sends too much packet. So, like, if I'm talking for too long, it doesn't catch up to itself, and then it just, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. So I'll start pausing it and taking a breath, and maybe that will help. So, believers, this intersection of Sasquatch as symbolic totem and Sasquatch as living primate has taken the story beyond mere speculation in Harrison Hot Springs. The town has become a magnet for those seeking answers. Like 26% of Canadians that believe cryptids such as Sasquatch are definitely or probably real, according to the Angus Reid Institute Public Opinion Poll from 2016. I already hate it, and I couldn't find the actual poll, but 26% that definitely or probably seems like poll manipulation, if you're asking me.
Yeah. I have a problem with polls.
Well, yeah, just in general, but like definitely or probably, those are two very different standards.
Yeah.
to lump
And
them all in. So
I'll let you take a small break here, and I'll share this this awful news video. Oh, I'll let you. So this one's Tampa Bay Bigfoot.
However, a weird news writer for Huffington Post did. Lee Spiegel says he got the photo too.
Why?
He told me over the phone he worked with a former FBI agent to look at
what
the
the
metadata.
hell?
That shows when the picture was
Yeah.
taken, the shutter speed, whether a flash was used, or if Photoshop was used. Sure enough,
Now, it doesn't look.
it was Photoshop. Now Spiegel says he confronted.
But I mean, this happens so often now. It's just it's tough for me to think that all of these are going to be real, and I come at most of this stuff as it's not. Like, prove to me it's real. Like, this is so out in left field. Like, give me something better.
Right.
And like you said earlier,
And
everybody's got a 720 camera on them 24/7. And the best we get is some random hillbilly saying Bigfoot molested him.
right. which could be, it could just be furries.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where okay, so if you saw that in the swamp like that, you're obviously close enough to get a pretty detailed picture. And I know that one particular one was Photoshop, but why not try and approach it or call somebody or something? Like, if it was really sitting 2.5 feet away from you, wouldn't you take some kind of action at, to prove it was real? So
yeah, and like most of the people that are getting these videos are, well, at least claim that they're always out looking for these things.
Mhm.
But the best they get is a 3-second video of it walking away on the lowest resolution setting.
right, like, why did you take it on 144 when you have a 720 camera?
And it's not easy to change on a phone. That requires steps.
Oh my god, are you crazy me to approach it? Yeah, why not?
I mean, if you see it and it sees you and it hasn't attacked you,
Right.
I mean, the worst case is it runs away. I mean, I guess the worst case is it rips you limb from limb and nobody ever finds your body. But
Yeah, but I mean, if it hasn't already done that, if it's just sitting there stationary, like, it's probably not gonna fight you.
bears don't like sit there and generally stare at you. They do move or give you a sign, but some just chilling out there in the quiet.
Mhm.
All right, let's go back to your slideshow here.
Bear claims that they will attack, like throwing rocks. Well, it's not the first person that's throwing rocks at me. So
Yeah, I mean, I've seen or heard a lot of stories about it throwing rocks or banging wood against trees to make knocking noises, and it's just, if it wanted you gone, I think it would do more than just throw a rock in some water near you. If it really wanted you gone.
So let's suss this out. If he's a 10-foot tall man or 10-foot tall creature, he has more.
Hold on, Mighty. I'm gonna try something here.
Why is
I think
they're doing it again? Damn it.
Yeah, and I think this might be the reason. All right, talk, Mighty.
Yeah, is that better?
Yep.
Oh, it must just be. So we'll have to deal with it looking stupid.
Yeah, because I'm on free shit. Where'd that go? Let's try that.
I think I have it. Well, I should have. Here, just share that one. Yeah, and it doesn't look stupid on mine. So, does that still work if we do it where it's uploaded?
Yeah, I'm not getting the audio problems.
It was probably just too much information trying to come through at once. So, StreamYard's made it kind of screwy, but we'll deal with it. Sasquatch is said to possess superhuman speed, step length, and strength, as well as the ability to overcome extreme obstacles by striding through heavy brush, ascending steep banks, and hurling high objects. Some report that Sasquatch is also able to swim. Because I have a virtual background and we're working with what we have, okay? Working with what we have.
We're working on Jewish freeware.
Yeah, Jewish freeware. So Canada obviously embraced it. This is a postage stamp commemorating Sasquatch. There's plenty of other pop culture references. As you know, we've seen it in movies. We've seen it in all kinds of stuff like that. So it's not uncommon to hear about. It's kind of everywhere. So did you have any pop culture references to add to it, or?
Sasquatch is such a big thing. It's like there's so much. I think the only thing that I actually found interesting is I got to meet Les Stroud. And for people who don't know, Les Stroud did Survivorman. He's the guy who would haul around a camera, all his own camera gear, and do survival videos. I think he did it on Discovery Channel.
Yeah, you might be right.
But I'll just share my screen real quick so everybody can see.
History, or maybe it was, I don't know. It was one of them. So,
but
I know all this, Libby.
He's actually a cool dude. I actually enjoyed talking to him. But this is Les Stroud, Survivorman. Apparently, he did a couple episodes of his Survivorman show and heard some shit he thought was really weird, and it kept happening. And he, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, decided he wanted to do his own show where he investigated Bigfoot because he was so creeped out by what he saw that he wanted to investigate.
Okay.
So, as far as credibility goes, I would consider this dude pretty good in terms of he goes out, he doesn't want to believe it, but he's seen weird shit that he can't explain and he wants to know. But he has a whole series on his, I do believe it's his own channel. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Huh.
So, and a lot of times he's like, "Yeah, man, you sound kind of crazy," and then other times he's like, "It's kind of what I heard." And he'd go out in the middle of nowhere, like walk for days and never see a single person doing these videos, and they'd have to come in on like helicopters and boats to pull him out. So it's not like it's not a Bear Grylls situation. so,
Right.
so he has a little bit of credibility with me. So that's where I'm like, I'm not there yet, but I could be.
Yeah. It's a weird choice for a background. What? It's Bigfoot. He's throwing rocks. Weird choice for a background. I was going with the theme. So the case against. So now that's most of the evidence for. We're going to get into case against, do some sightings, blah, blah, blah. So the study of genetics provides another reason to doubt existence of Bigfoot. A single creature can't breed and maintain a population, much less a species. For Bigfoot to be viable, it would need to have a population or populations large enough to avoid inbreeding or low genetic diversity, or else face extinction. Yeah, I mean, there would have to be quite a community because, as we see, even in where was it, Kentucky with the blue people? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the mountain people?
Yeah. And I mean, it happens all over the place. Like, not even there, just Europe in the 14 and 1500s were so inbred. They were dying at 30 and 40, had the most outrageous deformities. They were all pretty much mentally incapable of a single thought. Um, and that's just in humans. It can get far worse in animals.
Mhm. Yeah, and you see that with, dog breeds and stuff like that, where they're trying to keep them, to where they're purebreds, and then it gets to the point where they have these serious deformities or whatever. That was caused by colloidal silver. Oh, so they watch AJ?
Um, yeah, there was a guy. He went on a couple different shows. He took so much colloidal silver he actually turned blue.
That's crazy, huh? Does it? I'm sure that probably doesn't do much for you, like health wise. You're probably gonna
At
die.
some point it's got to be bad.
Backgrounds can be so weird. It's just like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll send you the link because this is 100% off topic, but
Okay. Private or Discord?
Discord.
Okay.
But
Holy shit!
yeah,
Whoa! He's like a real life Smurf.
right.
That is awesome.
So, got a couple other people that joined. Where'd they join in at? Levy, what's up, buddy?
A plebe.
Dawn, hello. Belandris, what's up, buddy? Belandris is actually Sasquatch. He just puts on a fur coat. Mimi, was he on Joe Rogan? I don't think I ever saw that one. I mean, that's awesome. He was. Let's see what else we got here. Mystic. I don't remember if I said hi to Mystic, but hi, Mystic. In case
I missed it.
All right. Oh, Wild Red popped in, or girl, right?
Well, it is a girl. And we're supporting their transition.
We're supportive here.
Yeah.
Jason, what's up?
Hershey's dark chocolate 3 times the lethal. Huh.
And Linda popped in. Oh, wait, wrong one. Linda, what's up?
Hey, Linda. Valhalla gave us a pink eye here. So, seems like he's maybe had pink eye a couple times.
I'm not touching that one. Stay far away.
I was going around it artfully. Yes, make sure you hit that like, hit subscribe to the Sleazy one, and because he's doing some cool stuff over here. So, and he's a good guy.
Damn, I got you fooled. But yes, guys, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Make sure you're still subbed because Susan likes taking away all our subs. Well, it's not Susan anymore, but
Phil.
New management, same shit.
Yeah. No, guys, he threatened my family with his Jew powers, so I have to say nice things about him.
That's kind of fair.
When alleged Bigfoot samples are subjected to vigorous scientific analysis, they typically turn out to be from ordinary sources. For example, in 2014, a team of researchers led by the late geneticist Brian Sykes from the University of Oxford in England conducted genetic analysis on 36 hair samples claimed to belong to Bigfoot or Yeti, a similar ape-like creature said to exist in the Himalayas. Almost all of the hairs turned out to be from known animals such as cows, raccoons, deers, or humans. However, 2 of the samples closely matched an extinct Paleolithic polar bear. Life Science previously reported these samples may have come from an unknown bear species or a hybrid of modern bears, but they were from a bear, not a primate. So is it possible that Bigfoot's a bear?
I mean, that's a hard one to sell me on during the day.
Yeah. And it doesn't look bear-like with any of the videos we've seen. So, what's up, cool? The existence of multiple Bigfoot increases the chance that one would be killed by a hunter or hit by a motorist on the highway, or even found dead by accident, disease, old age, by a hiker or farmer at some point. Yet no bodies have ever been found. And like we said, there's been no teeth, no hair, no bones, nothing that can attribute back to it. People do occasionally claim to find bones or other large body parts, but most of that is crap. For example, a man in Utah discovered what he thought was a fossilized Bigfoot skull in 2013. A paleontologist confirmed that the skull was simply an oddly weathered rock.
Bruh. Like, what was the one? I guess it was about 8 or 9 years ago now. A couple guys claimed they found a Bigfoot body, or they shot a Bigfoot, and they had it in a freezer. And it was in one of the crazy states that was like, this is protected animal, you can't do that. And come to find out it was just a suit shoved in a freezer.
That's awesome. There was this one guy, I used to follow him, and I have I couldn't find it anywhere. I don't know if he's off YouTube and deleted his channel or whatever. And I can never find where my subscriptions are anymore. But he claimed to have all these like Bigfoot feet that he chopped up and put in his freezer, and this guy was just nuts, man. Like pure psycho. And that wasn't even what he was doing. I wish I could find his channel, but I don't even remember what it's called. And I couldn't find it when I was doing some looking.
Why the feet, though?
I don't know.
That has a Drex about that one.
Can we equate foot fetish people to Bigfoot believers?
I mean, I guess. We get some new people stopping by in chat. So, where'd I see it? So, Vicky. What's up, Vicky?
Hey, Vicky.
Cool Frog.
Ribbit.
What's up, buddy? Squad Bob. No, not a bear. I agree with that one. Did I miss anybody? I think that's it.
Oh, I've heard like Sean always has an impassioned like counter to whatever I'm saying, but I'm absolutely convinced it's trolling at this point. Like, if somebody can't have that many opinions that they feel that strongly about,
I mean,
I don't think.
It's the internet. Everybody's a troll.
He's exceptional, though. Like, he comes with receipts for his talking points, which is confusing to me. Like, he puts a lot of work into his trolling, and I appreciate that. So, I was just looking through all my subs real quick to see if I could find this guy, but I can't remember what he's called, so it's not going to help.
Trying to look that up now and not get the feds to chase me.
Oh, they're already on to you.
Yeah. Well, no, I meant you. They're with me for now. I think that might be the dude you're talking about. Peter Kane.
Maybe. Are you bringing it up?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure here before I. There's a lot of stuff here. Okay.
That's exactly who I'm talking about.
Okay. Then let me start pulling some of this up. All right, so I'm guessing this is what you're talking about with severed parts of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Because then there's another one that is this insane video. Where is it? There we go. Go away.
My father acquired the Bigfoot September 23rd, 1953. And when they acquired them, they were so immense that they had no other choice, with most of them, to dissect them, cut them up so that they could get them out of the swamp. Now, this one in particular isn't that big.
So I want to pause here for a second, and I would like to point you towards the forehead of the alleged Bigfoot and look just slightly up. Here's a mannequin head on a fence post with a wig. This guy might have some weird stuff going on.
But it is still a very large creature. Now, it's desiccated because it's been in a freezer for 65 years, give or take. But one thing in particular about this Bigfoot here is it has one of its legs its foot above the ankle removed, and we have that in the bag.
Its foot above the ankle removed. So its legs were. We'll just give him an 18-inch shoulder width because he looks like a small guy.
Mhm.
If they cut it off just above the ankle, where the hell is the rest of its leg? Do you think he tasted it?
Oh yeah. He actually, one of his videos, he did taste it.
Oh God.
Now it's very, very interesting because you can see the feet. They stay, and this is true with the other ones that are younger, the feet stay smaller, and we believe that that's so that they blend in, look more human-like.
Big foot. This guy's out of his mind, isn't he?
I got a better one if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's the same guy. It's just a better one.
Yeah, Red. I agree with you on that one. Oh yeah.
You see that title?
Yep.
This is where it happened this spring, and I come back here because I want to conquer my fears. But I never come back here without a gun or without a dog. I have Jupiter with me. Now Jupiter doesn't seem real big, but he's a tough dog. And all Bigfoot and Sasquatch are afraid of dogs. This is a fact. Look, I was molested. I was molested by a Sasquatch. It's a fact. And hearing all this in the news of like Al Franken and Roy Moore and Donald Trump, it just brings.
I think he's serious too, man. Like, I've watched so many of his videos. You can until the 1st, maybe March 1st. This guy, if he is not 100% sincere, he is super massive trolling and deserves actor of a lifetime.
Brings it all back. It's like I got PTSD, so I'm watching TV and I see this about our president molesting people, and I'm thinking, I've been molested. You know, nobody wants to help me. I've been molested by a Sasquatch, and I know a lot of people are saying that it wasn't a female Sasquatch, that it was a male Sasquatch, and it wasn't. It was a female. I'm not gay. I'm not.
This is 100% a joke. There's no.
No, if you watch his whole catalog, man, it doesn't seem like it. Like,
Nothing like that happened. It was a female Sasquatch. I didn't want it to happen. I was back here minding my own business, looking for my dog. I was looking for my dog, and it's like she barreled out of the bushes and knocked me over and started pulling my pants off. You know, it felt good. I admit it felt good. I blew my load.
and they don't need any more of that. But that guy, like, I don't know, man. If he's trolling, he's doing one hell of a job at it.
He's getting the clicks. Keep it up. Get that grift.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm watching him, so. So Weathered Rock. Hoaxes. So we've talked about this extensively. There are so many hoaxes. I watched this guy a long time ago. I think he's serious by his other videos. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Barbara. Like, this guy seems like he is legitimately serious about this. Watch his whole catalog. You'll be like, no, this guy's 100% serious. Anyways, Bigfoot hoaxes have further complicated the problem of sorting out Sasquatch fact from fiction. Dozens of people have admitted or been found out to have faked Bigfoot prints, photographs, and nearly every other type of Bigfoot evidence. One prominent example is Ray Wallace, whose family revealed he was responsible for the Bigfoot prints near Bluff Creek in 1958. An even earlier example is the late Rant Mullins, who was a logger in Toledo, Washington. In 1982, he admitted to carving giant feet out of wood and using them to make fake tracks with help of a friend in the 1920s. The Chronicle, a Washington newspaper, reported in 2007. So he was like, wow, that's a long gap. But this built on the legend of ape-like men decades before Wallace's footprints helped make Bigfoot a phenomenon.
And see that's what makes it so hard for me to even want to believe. So many hoaxes all the time.
Jay Leba, me is the story. Why did you tag Levy and then ask me? No, it's I turned it off. It's Sasquatch made me get it pregnant or something like that. So no, Sean, I don't have a career in audiobooks.
It's an interesting theory about Bigfoot being a transdimensional being. Yeah, I've heard that. It's an alien. The stories get insane. Yes, I've got a little video clip that I was going to pull up when we get done with the Meaty's presentation here.
There are also 21st century examples of Bigfoot hoaxes. In 2008, two men from Georgia claimed to have a complete frozen Bigfoot specimen that they found on a hike. Their Bigfoot turned out to be a gorilla costume, reported in 2008. I mean, at least make it like believable, not just whatever. Justin Humphrey, an Oklahoma lawmaker, proposed creating a Bigfoot hunting season in January 2021. CNN reported. That could never turn bad. Humphrey suggested that the hunting season could coincide with the annual Bigfoot Festival that takes place in Honibia.
You know what? Do it.
Honibia.
Do it.
Could you see any potential issues there, Sleazy?
I can see a benefit. People quit dressing up like Bigfoot.
Oklahoma, and would help to bring more tourists to the area. I'm sure it would. Sleazy and I would go. Oklahoma tourism officials later announced a $2.1 million bounty in March for the capture of a live Bigfoot, NPR reported. Yeah, no problems there.
Hey, Kitty, thanks for joining the show. Yeah, I mean, like, look, you want to stop hoaxes? Bigfoot season, all year round. You see a Bigfoot, you get that motherfucker.
to coincide with the Bigfoot festival. So when we know they're here, we're gonna shoot these motherfuckers. There's a Bigfoot sighting database. We'll go into that maybe after. There's shockingly more than I ever would imagined throughout the country and the world. So, and there's actually a Bigfoot researchers organization, bfro.net. We can go into that after. Is there a non-Bigfoot season? I don't know.
Depends on what state you're in.
Yeah. Yes, you need to purchase tags from the government, of course. But Bigfoot Researchers Organization, I mean, obviously kind of nuts, but they seem legit. So, the FBI actually investigated Bigfoot. Another one we'll go over, maybe.
Well, I mean, the FBI investigate anything except for
Well,
actual crimes.
yeah, I mean, where are sightings more common? Himalayas or the U.S.? For Bigfoot, it would be in the U.S., but for it's actually Yeti in the Himalayas. So I don't know which one is more prevalent. Here are some sighting captures that I saw. I look for best examples of sighting captures. Yeah, I don't know. There's no footprints behind him. And
It looks
I don't
like a
know.
suit. I mean, it looks like somebody's just wearing a ski suit.
Yeah,
Like there's
it looks like,
nothing defining about that video.
right. It almost looks like it's just a shadow, because like I'm saying, there's no footprints anywhere down the hill. Like he's obviously going this way. So there's nothing at all this way. I guess he could have came up from here. Skunk ape.
Skunk ape's I think the southeast version of Sasquatch. Alabama, Louisiana, northern Florida, Georgia.
Huh. And this is the famous one from the video you showed. This is another one from that they saw. Again, these look like suits. This 100% looks like a suit. And
We can't see your mouse, but I assume you're talking about the left one.
yeah, the left one. Sorry. Yeah, so the left one looks like a suit, and there's no way he's 8 to 10 feet tall either.
Yeah, like the one almost looks CGI to me, and the other one's the Gimli film. So I'm kind of like,
Yeah. We're gonna skip that video. This is we can just look at the picture. This is supposedly one in Michigan, northern Michigan, and that 100% looks like the whole thing to me looks like a suit, but it has muscle definition. Which one? I think Sean just wants to believe. So, end of the presentation. What do you think? Is Bigfoot real or just a story that has captivated us? So,
yeah, no, it's like I see something, I'm like, did you get anything out of the video after you made that video? No. Video's enough? Yeah. Okay.
like the rocks that he supposedly threw at you, did you like there would be like touch DNA on those rocks? Why didn't you grab a rock? You know,
That's like I forget. It was a cabin. I want to say it was in the Yukon. They put screws and boards and leave them outside the doors and windows. So if a bear tries to get in, it steps on them and says, "Probably not a good idea."
Mm-hmm.
There was one they claimed was Sasquatch, but it was it had to have been a year ago because there's no actual DNA. We can't figure anything out. It's like what?
There's no blood on the screw, or
Let me find it.
It would be the greatest missing link solved of human evolution. So you think we came from this last one? I made this last one, Sean.
I mean,
Like,
it does look a lot like you.
like this one's not real, Sean. The whole thing's very cartoony.
Let's see if I can find the actual video. But yeah, no, there's always just so much crazy. Like, oh no, we definitely got it. We definitely got it. Oh wait, it was a suit. Oh wait, it was just a guy. Go ahead and pull up your links while I'm trying to look for this.
Yep, I'm working on it. Oh, damn it.
Oh, I got this. Throw this
All right,
away. You're
taking.
getting that set up. Because this is going to be real short.
Growing, and they collected DNA evidence that points
So
to a
yeah,
primate.
this is what they were saying. Was
In
the DNA evidence
2007,
came back as
The
absolutely
attacks
nothing.
continued.
Just that little board right there. Oop.
DNA evidence.
But yeah, no, that was a nothing burger again. And it looks like
You mean it wasn't Bigfoot's?
No. Oh, it's doing it again. Every time you share your screen.
Huh. You want me to just give you the links then?
No, it cleared up real quick. Okay.
Okay. So this is just an article, and it's long, so I'm not going to read it all. But this is about the FBI actually investigating to see if Bigfoot existed. And they just released the documents not long ago. Definitely not wasting our time and taxpayer money. I mean, that's one of the pictures that they still claim. That's probably the most convincing one I've seen, by the way. He's right there in the middle. But claimed to be a Bigfoot or Sasquatch creature in northern Georgia. So yeah, tax dollars hard at work. Here's the encounters report database, and you can actually wood apes or Sasquatch, Bigfoot, blah blah blah, whichever you want to use. And it actually tells you what state, where, and there's report details. So there's like a full report about things. So it's a woman reports encounter. She's driving down her driveway. And some of these have actually investigative photos. They like vet these and everything, supposedly.
Be curious
The photos
how they actually
are.
get them.
What's that?
I'd be curious how they actually vet them.
Yeah. So the photos are never like anything spectacular. It just shows this is their driveway. This is a pond where they think they saw him. And blah, blah, blah. So it never actually shows, and that is not the Bigfoot. I think that's just a lady. A guy. Richard
Are you
Howard.
assuming?
Yes. Yep. So there's 306 of them in the U.S. Going back to 1917. Track found a second-hand account of grandparents' visual encounter. So, I would trust that one. Use encounter while hunting in big thicket. 1963. Coon hunters. Do you think that's observation of unknown animals while coon hunting? Do you think that's what I think it is?
Maybe. What state was it in?
Texas in 1963.
Probably.
Yeah. But I looked through a ton of them. There's nothing crazy in any of them. But I mean, they do a good job cataloging it. Witness accounts, physical evidence, sounds, investigators. It shows you a map of where it's at. And you can actually, there's some way to toggle showing all of them. But outside of Waco, nothing ever happens in Waco. Or ever has. And lastly, I have this Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. Sleazy, percentage think possible Bigfoot existence. Maybe a poll from chat.
Well, guess what? There's a poll in chat.
Fantastic.
Bold of you to think I sleep.
I actually slept a couple hours last night. It was fantastic. So these are Bigfoot expeditions. You can actually go hunt Bigfoot with them. So, whoa, that's a big foot. Do they have breastises?
I mean, they'd have to, right?
Yeah, I mean, to feed the baby big feet.
I mean, I would love to go to one, but at the same time, I would suspect to keep that money rolling in, they'd have to stage some things every now and then to keep people interested, and like that's the problem I have with it. It's a tourist attraction at this point.
There's one in Ohio though. It's close. But there's the people that are actually going to do this are fucking psychos like Sean. like that's what I wouldn't want to deal with.
And it's like I'd love to go ghost hunting, but I don't want to find out ghosts are real.
That's true. It's true. But they have them, I mean, all year round, all over. There's another one in Ohio.
The only thermal sites I'm buying are going to be mounted to something. I'm not going to be hauling around a thermal camera.
There's so I think from what I've read, these guys like actually believe it. There's sightings, there's sound recordings, they have an active Twitter. Yeah,
I mean,
developing.
hold on.
What's up?
Matt Moneymaker.
Mm-hmm.
His name is literally Matt Moneymaker, and he's selling trips to hunt Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
The jokes write themselves.
Does he look like a Jew?
He looks like he's trying to be.
Apparently he's done a TV show called Bigfoot. I don't know. Finding Bigfoot on the Animal Planet. President of BFRO. So, yeah. I can see what you're talking about. But yeah, so they apparently have reaching out to DJI to have a drone snatchers video series. National Sasquatch Awareness Day. Like, he's obviously in activism, trying to sell stuff. Good on him. Trying to get that grift. But yeah, he has a little bit of history about it. The website could use an updating, but
I guess I'll do this because I see Xcomer posting in the Sleazy Society Discord, but and I see Sean trying to share some stuff in the Discord. Post the stuff in there. I do look at it. It's not the most active, but I look. I see what everybody's saying. But what did?
do you want to listen to this? Oh, I guess we are.
It sounds like an air siren.
Sounds fake, if you ask me. I mean, I'm sold. I'm now a believer.
Good for you.
Unidentified call 1. Dog barking, unidentified call 2.
Like, look at the pattern for that, right? The calls.
Mhm.
Like, it sounds like one of the old hand cranked air sirens.
Yeah. And it's like consistent over. Like an animal's not that consistent where
No.
it's a 4-second gap and then about a 4-second sound. Like that just doesn't. So yeah, that's what I got, sir.
Yeah, I didn't get a whole lot because Bigfoot. I think everybody knows all about Bigfoot, but I like the questions that get raised. So I got this little clip, and we're gonna EFAP it just in case. But
real dynamic signature of a consistent
super loud.
functional aspect
loud.
of the foot.
Yeah.
Remarkably compelling evidence.
There we
My
go.
research emphasis is on the form and function of the human foot
So-
and its evolutionary history.
these guys are talking about the Gimli footage and the tracks it left behind that they cast. Again, I have my doubts about the video. I've made that perfectly clear.
If I had nothing but the footprint evidence, the casts that were recovered from this site, I would be very convinced of the credibility of the film. The
And-
Sasquatch
Like, footprints don't do it for me, right? It's so easy, even over the last 200 years, to make a fake footprint.
Mm-hmm.
So that's footprints aren't going to convince me. That leads me to speculate that these people are just like, we have to prove it. Not we're going to try and disprove it, but we have to prove it because yes.
has retained the more primitive characteristic of a very flexible instep, a midfoot flexibility, which can be seen here. So as the heel comes up in the supporting foot, the heel moves somewhat independently of the rest.
And see, when I see that, I see a giant floppy foot, and as it's coming down, there's enough resistance that it pulls the toes back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't
Rest of
believe
the
it.
foot. This allows for a combination of propulsion and prehension, or the grasping ability of the foot. That indicates the ability to navigate that very rugged, steep terrain that you can see surrounding this film subject. That's a remarkable detail that is rarely drawn attention to. This is
So this is where they're talking about how they think the foot shape, because nobody's found anything ever for Bigfoot except for footprints.
contrast between the Sasquatch foot and the human foot. It can sometimes cause some of the substrate, in this case that sandbar, to be forced back up as a pressure ridge because of the arch, giving the foot a much more stable leverage.
Look, I'm no biologist, I'm no expert on walking, but 3 dudes sitting at a table discussing, oh, what is it? A 70, 80-year-old video now? it's a tough sell for me, man.
And the quality is not good enough to be making these distinctions, in my opinion.
No.
Like
it's just
very different adaptation for
you'd think there'd be
walking.
so much more at this
But
point.
that distinctive combination of features evident in the Sasquatch foot is very elegantly adapted to the habitat in which they're found in. And that motion was recorded in some of the footprints in a very dramatic.
But yeah, the rest of this is them trying to explain the entire bone structure of Sasquatch based on a couple footprints a couple guys made 80 years ago.
Sean is losing his mind right now. One, he can't use the Discord. There's a reason for that, Sean. And I agree with you. You're not an expert on walking or biologist, whereas this guy is. This guy's also on a television commercial or on a television program, and again, trying to sell the idea. And just because you're a PhD does not make you reliable.
Yeah, I mean, all we got to do is look at the last 2 years, 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Magic.
And I think this was one of the videos you included in yours.
Oh yeah, the Michigan one.
Yeah, and I think you and I are on the same page on that one.
I can't use yours because he's an asshole. Sean, I had nothing to do with this.
You had everything to do with this. All right.
What's your story, Vicky?
Ooh, story time. While she's doing that, I'll check what the poll says. So 38% say yes, 14% say no, 48% say maybe. So we got 40 or 50, almost 60% of the people that are well-rounded, adjusted people. Love y'all.
I just voted in the no.
Yeah, that's the one they keep modeling out. It looks like a giant orangutan.
What? What are you talking about, Mystic? I think I'm about to get yelled at.
Ooh.
You think puppies might be broke up? What?
I think it's a long message, and it's going to be delayed. So
Oh, okay.
I'll do this. So this is that still you have in your
video. They finally
slideshow.
sent us a video. It's 4.7 seconds long. He says, my cousin was kayaking on the Coss River here in Michigan when he took this picture. Not sure what it is, but I've sent it to a few people, and some say it's Bigfoot carrying an infant. Others say it's Bigfoot carrying a deer. Okay, we've got the video. I've done several things with it, and so I'm going to
So yeah, I'm not.
walk you through the stages of me breaking down the video, trying to figure out what it is. I'll show you the original, then I will slow it down 50%, then 25%, then 15%. Then I'll
Looks like
run
a fat gguy in a
eyes,
gimp suit.
separate each with
Yeah, it kind of does.
time lapse. Here they go.
Well, I remember.
Hold on. Okay, they're slowing it down.
Well, I remember.
The fuck is that? No, that's not it. Where's it in here? There was a way to slow all this down. settings. I gotta fix that. Yeah, dude, that looks like somebody in a gimp suit. It really does.
I mean, it looks like he might even be wearing a hat.
Like, it just moves all sorts of wrong.
Yeah. Huh.
I'll get to Vicky in just a second. Like, the chest moves weird. The arm looks funny.
I'm going to run all
The head just looked awful. Like, it literally looked like a cloth mask.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks just kind of like a fat guy, maybe in Carhartt.
back, and I'm going
Yeah.
to zoom in so we can get a better look, and then I'm going to tell you guys what I think about this, point out some things I see in the video, and I am going to show you some of the best screenshots of the video and zoom in on some of those so we can try and get a feel for what's going on in this video. I'm on the fence. I'm not sure what this is in the video. I'm not saying it's Bigfoot, and I'm not saying it isn't. This is obviously
Go
shot
back,
with
zoom
a
in.
cell phone at 880 by 656 resolution.
Like,
100% looks like a person.
yeah.
Resolutions. It's 30 frames
Like,
for what this is in the video. I'm not
Like, is he carrying a gun too? Like, is that just a hunter?
saying it's Bigfoot, and I'm not saying it isn't. This is obviously
A
shot with a cell
dirty
phone at
orange
880 by 656 resolutions.
carrying
30 frames per second.
gun.
It isn't the greatest
I can
footage.
see
It's
it.
all we have
Like,
to go with. So
it's
you
not a
be the
stretch for me to
judge on
say
what you think it is. I don't know
that.
what it is. At the end of this clip, I am going to
Yeah, and seeing it looks at people. That's a hood.
Mhm.
That's why the center is all dark on the head.
show you some of my favorite screenshots. I'm going to zoom in on a side profile where you can see the
Yeah,
note.
like he's in waders or
There's a
something.
couple of
Like
shots.
wader
Yeah.
overalls.
At least there's one shot where it looks at the camera, and then I want to also zoom in on the very last frame. Right now, you guys are watching the cropped version. I cropped in on the video, the original, 50%, 15%, and 20%.
Yeah, carrying something under his arm. It looks orange, and it looks like he's wearing waders.
Yeah.
Like, you can see, it's dark there. It's orange up here. He's got a hood pulled up. The center of the face is all dark,
Mhm.
and something's under his arm.
5%. Also, don't know if anyone noticed, but it's walking directly under some power lines. Bobo talks about a Bigfoot highway, those easements,
Like, and the slower it goes, the more it looks like a person just wearing clothes.
Mhm. Yeah. And you can even see, like, it doesn't look like hair. It looks like fabric, like a shirt.
Yeah, it's not like, I mean, he's walking across it, so it's not going to be completely soaked. Even if it was a Bigfoot, like, there'd be some part dry.
Yeah.
power line, so it looks like it's crossing the river under the power line, so it's going easement to easement. There will be a small clearing that will make it easier for it to travel through the thick of the forest. I'm going to zoom in on a screenshot roughly 4 seconds in. It's a side profile shot, so we'll zoom in on that screenshot. You can see the nose and everything. You can make out the nose of the subject on the side profile of this screenshot. The next one is the
Like, I
only
just
photo that they
glosses
took
over
at the
that.
creature, so it's the best resolution, and I zoom in on that. I think this is the
Dude, it
best
looks-
look at it, the original. I
looks
don't
like a
know
guy
what
in
it is.
layers.
I'm a little bit skeptical. Whatever, you be the judge. I will end this with the final frame of the video before the cell phone quits filming. This is zoomed in. Keep on watching. We're going to
All
keep
right, we're
on
about done.
watching.
All right, but yeah, I'm
I
just
don't
I'm
buy
not
that
sold
word.
on Bigfoot.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I want to believe, but it's not there for me. I want a body.
Yeah. Bring out the hunting tags, find out once and for all. Yeah.
That'll do it.
During Bigfoot Fest. With all the people dressed up. And do like a scavenger hunt where they, you got to dress up and then you run out in the woods and then.
All right, so let's go over Vicky's story real quick before we end the stream.
Yeah.
I was on a train on the way to Portland years ago, and the train was stopped in the middle of Glacier Park during a huge winter storm. Okay. I was on the lower level, closer to the tracks, when I looked down and saw giant footprints in the snow. I suddenly got a panic attack and wanted the train to move. They looked very fresh prints. Footprints don't do it for me. It's not going to be the footprints. It's not going to be, well, we can identify this random hair or this blood. We can't do anything with it. It's not going to be that. It's going to be a body or bones.
Homer says, play Sean's clip.
All right, let's see.
No, Mystic, you need evidence at some point. Like, you can't just straight up faith it and expect me to believe that there's this giant hairy man hanging out in the woods. Well, I do believe there's giant hairy men hanging out in the woods, especially in November in Michigan. It's called hunting season. But
He said 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
what's up?
I'm trying to find the time he said to.
Oh.
Two 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So we'll go to 156. And then after this,
Jesus.
I've got shit to do.
Okay.
All right.
On every second right footprint, the track was angled out from the direction of travel by 45 degrees. And I thought, well, that's weird. Why would every second right step be angled out like that? And I noticed that every time I looked back over my shoulder to see how the tracks appeared, that looking over my shoulder turned my foot out 45 degrees. So this thing was heading back towards the only cover. Every second step, it was looking over its shoulder, checking the progress.
Doing a 352.
That's right, exactly. But it's the imperfections that were so interesting to me. It was the half tracks. It was the slips.
Again, footprints.
I don't buy footprints.
Yeah. That's not what's going to
It
sell
was
for
the
me.
toe drags. It was all these other features of the dynamics of the footprints that made them really.
Okay, a guy's walking through the woods. His boots get wet. He's trying to dry them out. He's carrying them on his shoulders. Footprints.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you put footprints in any sort of material and you let them sit there long enough that they soak up water, they dry out, they expand. It's not
So astounding.
It's gonna sell
I
me.
could
It's
just
just
barely match its
Especially if it's wet and
What was the step of ramp?
your foot will slide through them. Like your foot slides back and makes a longer print. So
Yeah, I mean, so I used to go hiking out in the mountains like every other weekend, and I'd be out there for 2 or 3 days. Like I've seen bear tracks, and if it's muddy enough, they look massive. But I know there are no grizzly bears in the damn mountains where I live. That's about the only thing that can be as big as those footprints. So, footprints aren't going to do it for me. They're just not in any way.
I agree, X-Comrade. Those people that they had on camera look like humans. He's being an ass. People that
That summer's great. But yeah, that's just I need something more. You know, it's like all the alien sightings, everything. Oh, I saw it. Okay, and I
I
believe
believe in aliens more than Bigfoot. If we're
Yeah.
gonna, yeah, Bigfoot's never done it for me. But
I mean, it's interesting to talk about. Like, why is North America one of the only continents that doesn't have apes?
yeah,
But other than that, it's I can't do Bigfoot. Not right now. I need something better.
have you been to Detroit,
Uh,
where
no.
Bigfoot doesn't exist? They sell his stuff all the time.
God. I mean, it's great. It's a funny tourist thing. It'd be fun to just go out and mess around in the woods and be like, I saw Bigfoot, just troll people. But
Now I kind of want to make the most like ridiculous Bigfoot sighting ever. Like we could make a fake Bigfoot. We'll use Belandris.
Yeah.
Glue hair on him.
Yeah. Yeah. Glue.
Yeah.
I was just gonna like actually push hair into him, but yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you showing up. That was interesting.
I appreciate you having me. So it's a fun topic. I like what you're doing here, buddy. So
I appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely want to do more. I mean, you've seen it. I've got a year's worth of content to make. So, but appreciate everybody showing up. We're gonna wrap it up here. Y'all have a good day. Just remember, be easy like Sleazy.
Take care, y'all.